The luncheon is the premier event to recognize people who've made contributions to affordable housing, and that's just so important in this time when the need has never been greater for safe, decent, clean, affordable housing.
Not only does it bring the affordable housing experts together, it allows us to do some networking within the frame of business, but it also serves as an incubator for the development of new ideas that the Housing Conference can move forward.
This annual gathering that we have every year is not only just a great time to see old friends, but especially with these symposiums that have been added for the last 2 years, it's really an opportunity for ideas to percolate. We all know there's a new landscape. We have a new governor, and we have a tight budget. We've got to come up with some original ideas.
Over the years, the symposiums have continued to get better and better and to grow. And they're covering things that are salient topics in our industry, whether it be the greening of housing or whether it be dealing with the changes that have happened after this most recent housing crisis. It's a real chance for people to come together and share ideas and to learn from one another.
This year's theme for our awards luncheon is Solutions for a New Landscape. A few of the ways that we will carry this theme throughout the year will be through our work with the Young Leadership Council and through Brown Bag Symposiums. We will be doing joint advocacy days in Washington with the National Housing Conference, and I expect we'll be doing some advocacy days in Albany as well.
But leading the Housing Conference in New York is always a partnership with the National Housing Conference, because so many of the housing programs in this country got their start in New York.
I think it's extremely important to have a linkage between the National Housing Conference and the New York Housing Conference. The New York Housing Conference can provide to the national knowledge of the local scene. Conversely, the National Housing Conference has the expertise and the contacts in Washington that lead to a synergy so that the New York Housing Conference can help accomplish its goals in Washington.
So to have a nexus with Washington and the policymakers with Washington is critical. And I think we bring value to the National Housing Conference because New York is such an incredible, important part of the country.
And the New York Housing Conference and the National Housing Conference, they create a big tent. They allow for all of those voices to be heard in a way in which is very proactive, and that coordination is absolutely critical. And without the National Housing Conference and the New York Housing Conference working collaboratively, we wouldn't have the success in this city that we've had over such a long period of time.
The affordable housing market is facing challenges today, this year, next year. The importance of the National Housing Conference and the New York Housing Conference creates a voice for us to take our ideas, our policies, our programs up to Albany and into government within Washington. Without their voice, many times our ideas and thoughts are not heard.
Nobody talks about housing, and that's why we need a National Housing Conference to talk about housing and to remind public policymakers that you cannot have a successful country, a successful government, if people aren't properly housed.
The individuals being honored today by the New York Housing Conference and National Housing Conference have dedicated a life to the development of affordable housing. To acknowledge their work and their good efforts helps to energize the entire industry of affordable housing.
This also needs to be a venue for the people in the industry who share that passion to speak to us about what it is that we need to do as an entity that is pushing good public policy. What should that public policy be? We need everybody to be involved in that discussion, to express to us what are the issues that are most important to you.